We have a whole lot to do, so there is no need for introductions. We know what we've been doing for like
Network not very clear.
decades now. And yesterday we started proper the PIM processes, that's project integration management processes. And out of 7, we're just able to touch 3. So you could imagine, having 4 left, and I still told you that I have a whole lot of things to actually cover today. By the spare grace of God, I know that tonight is actually what the last night for the training. So I'm also I will try to, see how we can run through that. So yesterday we started with some processes. I just want us to highlight them. Yesterday we did develop a project charter. So we talked about how you can develop project charter, the contents of project charter, what must be in your project charter, okay, everything you have to put together so that you can produce your project charter. Yesterday I explained what we mean by ITTO, that in everything that you want to achieve on your project, there must be ITTO. I for the inputs, those things that you are going to impute, that you are going to put in, and then your tools that you are going to use coming, and then the techniques that you will use as a project manager or project facilitator, that those techniques actually make you different from another project manager. Let me share my screen. If you can see my screen, just give me thumbs up. We don't need to unmute. Just give me thumbs up. Just use thumbs up if you can see my screen. Okay, thank you, thank you. A whole lot of people can see my screen. So this is where we actually started, yesterday. So we talked about develop project charter. We talked about another one. We talked about developing the project plan. Okay, that was the second one, project management plan. And the third one, we discussed direct and manage project work. We said under project charter, that is the document that will help you to initiate the commencement of a project. That's what we authorize somebody to be called a project manager. That's what will give us the description, brief description of your project. That's where we'll get to know if your project has a good business case, that is, it can actually meet up with business demand, or it will be profitable. So we do a whole lot under project charter, and what comes out of it is actually your project charter. Your project charter also introduces to you your stakeholders. It makes you to know the scope, it makes you to know the purpose of the project and all that. The second one is that we develop project management plan, and I explained that in project management you should know that the output of a particular phase becomes the input of another phase. In other words, the developed project charter here becomes the input for the developed project management plan. So direct and manage project work is where you talk about, the integration aspect that has to do with you executing the project. So these are the 3 that we discussed yesterday. So let's move on to the fourth one, which is a manage project knowledge. Yes, manage project knowledge. Now, it is very important that we always do things in a better way. Like I do tell people, I have a very strong feeling that anything I've done before, I can always do it better. And you see, this concept or this mindset has always helped me to actually improve on so many things. So as a project manager also, you must never feel that you have arrived. You must learn, to improve the process or to improve your techniques even when you have completed a particular phase. And this is only possible when you learn, you do review, or we call it retrospect. If you can do retrospect meeting with your project team, retrospect meeting will tell us during the course of this particular phase, let's say what we have just done is laying the foundation of the house. Before we move to the next phase, we have to think about things that went wrong, things that we could have done better that we didn't. A lot of things that we did not account for that occurred in the process of, laying the foundation of the building. I'm just using that as an example. It might be a phase. Your own might be that you want to build a website and somebody is in charge of UI UX, user interface and user experience of the website. And maybe when they are doing the design of the website, the layout of the website, that is just the skeleton of how the website will look like, they have not developed any button, no useful button developed. So you have to preview all these things and see how you can actually improve. That's what we talk about, the process that deals with project knowledge, management. So in your project integration management, before you start your project, you must have plans on how you will always improve on every phase that you have achieved. This might be that you are setting up that, okay, fine, every five days, people will come and give accounts, that is supervisors or each unit that you have will come and give reports on what they have done, okay, and the challenges that they have faced. So that will actually help you to say, okay, fine, that thing that you say you did, you could have done it like this. So even the next phase they are moving to, they will be able to actually do it much more smoothly than the previous one they have achieved. Any company that does not actually review their past projects, or they don't review their past phase, you will never see an improvement. Take for instance, if you look at it 2 days ago when we started this course, the first video, okay, and the first day we dropped 2 videos. That's the video recording of the live class of that day, and even the previous one we have done before. Now when you go and check that video, you will see that, despite the fact that I was on both, I was on both video, I was the one that did the introduction to project management of both video. When you look at it, you will see that it was actually done in a very different way and in a very different dimension. That is what you see with project management team or a project manager who take cognizance of their past, projects or past phase and are able to improve the process. There must always be the plan, okay, that you lay out. So the knowledge created is used for further processes. So when you gather this knowledge, okay, in most companies where they have PMO, where they have project management office, these are the files and documents that they have. If you meet with somebody in a legal field, maybe a lawyer, perhaps you might have heard them about, case study before. They will tell you that I want to do a case study on something. Or if you have moved with people that do research before, they will say they want to do a case study. A case study is you studying a particular case that look like the one that you have at hand. Why would you do a case study? You want to check when so thing like this happen back then, how did they handle it? So when you look at how they handle it, if there's a documentation of how they handle it, you'll be able to see their mistakes, things that they never envisaged that happen, and you will improve on that. You will never fall into the mistake that they have actually made, and then you'll be able to correct yourself. When Thomas Edison, Thomas Edison that invented the filament bulb, okay, in his interview, several of his interview, he actually did this about 10,000 times or so, that he performed the experiment and it was not actually working. So there was an interview that I read about him that he granted, and the interviewer was asking him that, how do you feel that your experiment had failed, about 10,000 times and you've not really gotten it right? The response he gave is that, well, I didn't feel bad. The only thing is that I've achieved a lot of results in that I have found out 10,000 ways that this experiment cannot work. What does that mean? It means that even if eventually he got it right, but even if he did not get it right, somebody that wants to pick up that experiment in the later future, if he could actually get a case study of what Thomas Edison had done, the person will know that there are 10,000 ways that this cannot actually work. So he might actually be forced to try a new way. So Managing project knowledge is very, very important. It saves time, it equips us the more, and it helps us to actually improve on every what project. You can imagine or think about your experience the first day you I want to give us funny example, but that's just the way it is. Think about your experience the first day you cook a particular meal that you don't know how to prepare before. You might actually fumble. Okay, as simple as indomie is, preparing indomie, I can share my own experience of the first day of me preparing indomie because I was not used to it. It was almost I was eating a mesh corn the way I prepared it that day. But there will be an improvement because when you make the mistake, then now you want to improve on it. That, oh, I've done it like this before. I think I put too much water. I won't do it this time. And even though it might not be the best, but the second time you are trying, we expect you to do it better. Okay, so that is what we expect under manage project knowledge. So this might be a personal process that a project manager will be able to devise. How do I want to improve or ensure that there is an improvement on every phase of this project? Okay, every supervisor must always report to me, oh, every so day. Oh, I want to be having stand-up meeting with them so time, so that what they will give me is this, is that. I could recall in industry when I was still working in a cement plant. Every morning the GM must gather you together. Okay, so in some places they will say they are doing morning devotion. Our own morning devotion is pep talk every morning. And what is that pep talk? You must make sure that you fight against that downtime today. Do everything you can, make sure that what the site is not down on the account of electrical department. I was working in electrical department. Make sure that what the site is not down on the account of electrical department. They will remind you about safety. They will tell you about little things that you have to know. So what are they telling you? You have worked yesterday. They want you to actually improve today. They may even tell you that yesterday we had what 10 minutes downtime and it was recorded for us. Today we must not have what downtime. So improvement is needed on every project. The fifth process of project integration management is for you to monitor and control project work. Most of the things that mess up projects are not poor execution, but they are poor monitoring and controlling. What do you do under monitoring and controlling? In fact, when you see a country that is doing well, every country that issue out a project without issuing out a process of monitoring the quality or the execution of that project will fail. And I must tell you, basically, a lot of our politicians need training on project management with what we are facing in Nigeria. Because with some exposure, I found out that it is not that government are not signing out projects. It is not that government are not signing out new construction of roads. It is not that government are not, are not every day, thinking about projects that they could do, even though we know that they could do better. But you see, these few projects that they are doing are getting into the hands of people without without the government setting up, a monitoring and control team that can follow up on the project they have actually signed out. So you could have projects that are signed out yet are not executed. Yes, it's happening in Nigeria. And that's a shame. That is what will never happen in a country that is developed where their politicians are exposed and educated. In Nigeria, whether you're educated or not, as somebody who is influential or who is being favored by some cabal, you may actually assume the post, a political post. And what do you expect of that person? You will sign out a project, let there be construction of this road, and then you will find out that in the later years there will be a case with the EFCC, and you find out that the project that you signed and issued out money for was not carried out. What's the problem? Monitoring and control. So when a project manager give out activities, share it among the project team, it is also imperative and very important for him to ensure that these activities or smaller tasks that make up the whole project are actually being monitored and they are actually being what controlled. So what monitoring and controlling refers to is the continuous tracking. You have to track the process and the execution of the project. Reviewing the activities, ongoing activities, and reporting the project progress status so that you can achieve the required target. So you must actually follow up. You cannot just share the task and expect that it is done and it is done. You have to check even before the project owner or the project sponsor comes over to check it for what? Approval. It's just like a fashion designer that has a lot of apprentices. So you can actually you can share work for them. Oh, you sew this, sew that, sew this cloth and everything. But everything is still coming out under the branding of your company. So your brand name will be the one to bear that product that is coming out. So it is imperative and important for you to oversee, the execution of the project. So a project manager must actually have it planned, which is now part of the project integration management. How is going to what? Monitor, how is going to control the project work process. How will I keep tracking this? This is where software is actually coming. So with the use of good softwares, you may not be there, but you may be seeing what your team members are actually doing. With that, you may be able to say, oh, this is what they have done, this is what they are doing, and this is what they will do next. In fact, that was the man that we call the father of modern project management. That's Gantt, that invented Gantt charts. One of the motivation that made him to actually invent Gantt chart is because of this number 5 project integration management that we are talking about or discussing. How do I monitor what is actually going on? Okay, so he invented what? Gantt charts in such a way that, oh, I want all Gantt charts is just like you having a bar chart. Okay, a bar chart. Let me change the color of my pen because I'm drawing on this. So it's just like you having a bar chart, okay, horizontally positioned bar chart that shows every activities with dates that you're actually doing it. So Gantt chart, looks more or less like something like this. It shows you the flow of work. If this is an input to this, you will see it actually being fed in. And then you have, perhaps you have February, you have March, you have April, and like that. So we already know that what activities 1 year must have started, and when you have completed it almost halfway, then activity 2 must have started with dates. So on the February year, we already see the date of February. So if this is on the 14th, we know that on the 14th, our schedule is that what activities 2 must have what started, and then activity 2 will be started, perhaps perform for some day. Immediately you stop, activities 2, activity 3 actually starts. And we have seen here that what you don't have to finish activity 1 before activity 2. So Gantt chart actually, is one of those, yes, early instruments. Let's use that one because it started as a board work or as a paper work. So when you go to the project site, what you will see is Gantt chart being added. Anybody have access to it. So when you go to the Gantt chart, you can say, oh, this is what we are doing right now. Okay, by February, this is what we are starting. Okay, by February 24, this must have. Everybody is carried along. So it is just the digital world that make us to have Gantt charts being embedded in some softwares. The use of Kanban board also. Kanban board also is also used in this process, okay, so that what we can actually monitor and control the project work. So this is very, very important. Let's look at this. Let's just look at some of the key inputs that we have under this 5th process. Number 1 is your project management plan that we have discussed yesterday. So you have to look at your plan before you can say you want to monitor, before you can say you want to control. What is the plan that we have on ground? You have to be able to actually have your schedule forecast That's the one I just explained about using your Gantt chart. What is the forecast of my schedule? When and when will this be done? And when will this actually will start? If you have heard about critical path management, okay, this is also what we use critical path management for under project management. What is critical path management also addressing? It addresses that there is no one way of you completing a task. There is no one way, but there will be one way that will cost you a great deal of time, and there will be a way that will give you the shortest, deal of time for you to actually carry out the project. Now let's make this practical. Let's make this very, very practical. Okay. We'll have one person actually standing in, okay, to demonstrate that for us. So let's see. If I want to monitor, okay, and I want to control my schedule, I want to have a schedule for forecast, perhaps using critical path management, like I've explained. When you have a task at hand, okay, of course, this is elaborately discussed under project time management. I'm just because project integration management touch all these areas. So briefly, I'm just actually talking about it. So what we are saying is that if you have a task, you must think about the shortest time, okay, shortest period that you can complete it, shortest time. We call this optimistic time. Optimistic time. We must think about, moderate time, let's say an average time that probably averagely we can actually complete the task. So we call these just your, let's call it average. Okay. And then we have, the longest time it may actually take us. Then let's call this pessimistic time. You are just being pessimistic. You are thinking about all the negative things that could happen and everything like that. So let's look at a very little task, okay, and let's see how we can actually play around the shortest period of time with it. Somebody wants to erect a building, okay. Now I want somebody who is versed about civil work here to give us to just volunteer. Somebody to volunteer, please. Somebody to volunteer. All that I want you to do for us is just to give us like 6 activities that the person will actually carry out in erecting this building. And let's now see how the person can maneuver his time. Is there anybody?
Emmy Anthony is raising his hand.
Okay, Anthony. So give me 6 activities that this person will carry out. The first one.
Okay.
The first one is you will setting out.
Set out, okay. Second one, give me the normal milestone. The milestone that you know that when this person does this, he has achieved something tangible.
Yeah.
Design is there, right?
Yeah. The next one is yes, design is there.
Okay.
The next one you carry out a foundation.
Foundation.
Yes,
okay. What again? Procurement, right?
Yes, please.
It's going to buy materials. Okay. He might actually look for what do we normally call the approver? Surveying, right?
Yes.
Building approval process.
Building plan.
Building plan approval. Okay. Now, tell me, in order, which of these is an input to another, so that we will show the knowledge that we have gathered yesterday. Can you tell us which of these, like which of these is like if it's not ready, another one cannot be done? Let's first pair those ones together. Are there some of these activities you have given me that if one is not done, the other one cannot be done?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Which
If
one?
the design is not done, if the
Design.
design is not done,
Design is not done.
You can't set out. Can you set out
You
without
can't
You
design?
approve.
cannot set up.
You can't get
no, you
approval.
can't.
You can't set out without design. So let's bring
Yeah.
Yes.
design.
Even Mm.
So design
Okay,
comes first, right?
everyone, Mr. James, please, just a
Design,
minute.
designing comes first, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Just, Mr.
So designing
Just
comes
a minute,
as the
sir.
input. Designing is the input towards signing out, setting out
Just a
rather.
minute, sir. Sorry to cut in, sir. So please, if you
Okay.
want to give a response, please kindly signify that you should unmute yourself, and the place is getting rowdy. So please, let's follow the protocol. Want to give a response, signify, I'll call on you. Thank you very much.
So I still have Anthony with me. So Anthony, it is after design that you can set out, right?
Yes, please.
Is there any other thing
Well,
that designing will affect aside setting out? What will setting out affect?
yes. There's
Is there anything we can do aside the design that control the setting out? What can we feed in for the setting out? After setting out, what next?
Then the next thing we should do is, if we didn't get an approval, then we can't proceed with the foundation.
So are you saying that it is after the design and setting out we can go ahead for approval? Which one comes first?
Design first, then the next is approval. Because if you didn't get approval, you can't set out.
Okay, good. So you see now. So it means that approval comes here. Okay.
Yes.
Now let me explain. While the design is going on, can approval and designing be going on simultaneously?
Yes, it can.
Good.
It can.
So you see that these two activities can be grouped together. That's what we are saying. So by grouping these two activities together, I'm already saving time. While the design and approval is going on, is there also any activities that can be going on even if the approval has not been done? Is there anything that I can still be doing?
There is.
Okay, what's that?
Procurement of material can go on.
Please let's follow protocol. Anthony is still with me. Anthony is still with me. If you want to contribute, you can just raise. Is there any other thing I can be doing while the design and approval is ongoing?
Yes, sir. You can be procuring the materials.
Procurement. Good. You see what we are talking about now? So, in your project may not be like this. What we are expecting in your project is that you need to actually take your schedule in a way that you will make good use of time. In some situations, everything is ready. The staff have been employed, but you do not have the material already procured. So they will say, I've had a lot of civil engineers who will be saying that it is the material that is delaying us. For a very good, project manager, or perhaps he is just a civil engineer who doesn't have the knowledge of project management. But if you have the knowledge of project management, you would never fall into that situation where you will have the project team waiting and the material is actually disturbing them. So you must have grouped before you even start the project. What are the things I can do together? That's why you see project management knowledge affect everything about your life. It's just like the way I'm talking now. You are going to Ikeja, you want to repair your laptop, you want to have a meeting at Maryland, okay? But today you have a whole lot of things to do in VI. It will be very important and it will show professionalism if you can sit down and say, okay, I'm going to this particular axis. Don't just go to that axis alone. Can you sit down and think about your activities for that week? What are the things I have to do in that environment when I'm going? But you see some people, it is after they leave that Ikeja, they will not remember, oh, there's a particular mouse I want to buy, because project management knowledge is not actually guiding him. Everything is a project. Your activity is a project. So when you think about, oh, I'm going to this particular vicinity, let me take advantage. Are there things that I can achieve around that vicinity? You will see that you can achieve even 6 of your activities in a week just with just an outing. But it's possible that what you keep on going to the same location, keep on going to the same location that you could have what taken advantage of. So critical path management helps you to know that, okay, how do I shorten my journey? How do I combine activities? Which shortest route can I take in achieving this particular what task? I want to cook, but everything I want to buy in the market, everything that has to do with outside, can I group them together and make sure that I do everything so that I know that all the other activities are just inside the kitchen? This is what project management will actually what do when you properly what apply it. Now let's look at, because we have a whole lot. What about cost forecast? Is there anybody that want to build or anybody that want to venture into a project? You will not emphasize, you know, what is another thing that I must mention here. It is only when we are doing project cost management. That's why I can mention that. In actually doing costing for your project, you can see what is going on in our country now, inflation, and not only in Nigeria, across the world, there is inflation. That is why your project cost management, you must also plan according to the project plan that we made mention yesterday, how you will actually control that. What are the things that you put in place? That is where your contingency, you know, expenses comes in. Miscellaneous expenses, that is where they come in. You must be able to account, you know, for those expenses that you may not actually what be able to forecast from the beginning of the project. Validated changes. How will I actually monitor, you know, the changes? You know, I explained change request yesterday, that the project owner can make a request about you improving a particular phase. Now, when that is done, we call it what? Change request. So how do I validate that what those changes pointed out had been done? That's what we mean by validated what changes. How do I validate it that what they have been corrected? This is part of the what the process under monitoring and controlling. Work performance information, I mentioned this yesterday, is the raw data where you have the raw data that briefly tell you about a particular phase that you have finished. How much have we spent? Don't just look at your project that, oh, my project is 6 million naira and you keep on spending. No. You must be able to what? Take cognizance of how much you have spent on foundation. If it's 6 million naira you want to use to build the whole bungalow, and you have spent 2.5 million naira just on foundation, so you can know that you have already failed on that project. That is why for every phase you complete, you must do an assessment. How much did I spend? How long did it take me? If a building will take you what 1 month to build, and you have already used 15 days just to lay the foundation, tell me, the remaining 15 days, can you use it to build it up to lintel? Can you use it to actually roof it? Can you use it to paint it? So every phase must be monitored. And that is what will be included in your work performance. You want to see the performance of the work. The information must be there. It is a document. It is not hidden. Everybody can see it. It is something that is even open, that even the senior management can request for. Oh, let us see your work performance information. The stakeholders can say they want to see it so that they will feel at rest that, oh, the work is ongoing. If you go meet a fashion designer and you give him your clothes and you say, these clothes, today is actually what, Saturday, I will use this clothes on Monday. You say, as no problem now. Okay, let's say on Tuesday, you say no problem. Okay, Sunday comes, you call him, how far? You say he has started. On Monday, you know that definitely it's on Tuesday that you need the clothes. But you just say, let me take a walk to his workshop. And then you went to his what? Fashion house on Monday. You saw that cloth exactly the way you gave it to him. He has not cut it, he has not pieces it. And you must actually use the cloth early Tuesday morning. Despite the fact that he might be giving you, you know, falsified, you know, promises. Don't worry now. As Tuesday come, Tuesday has not come now. I've told you that it will be ready early tomorrow morning. Don't mind me. I'm just thinking about the style and everything. I know definitely you will be worried. You will have seen the disappointment knocking at your door. That on Monday afternoon, I am here and I'm still seeing the clothes I gave you on Saturday just the same way I presented it to you. And you are still promising me that early Tuesday morning, no matter what will be the promise, at least your faith in that particular fashion designer will shake at that moment. That is why it is important for you to have work performance. But if you get there and the person just show you that, oh, I've caught it, I'm already joining this, you're already seeing the skeleton of the job actually coming together. What are you doing? It's presenting to you the work performance, exactly what you are doing on every project. So the input here also is part of it is enterprise environmental factors. I explained that, a lot of factors, government policy, political arena, environmental factor. If you are into construction now, you have to take into cognizance the weather. It may rain tomorrow. If you are into event planning, you must account for, if they tell you that we want to use an open field, you know that what they are creating problem for you, because you know that it may rain and you won't be able to give them an excuse. What are you going to do to ensure that the event will go on? Blah, 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 everything. These all come under enterprise environmental factors. I explained also yesterday organizational process assets. Does the company have a specific policies that they use? Do they have a culture? Do they have a brand? Are there some rigidity in all their projects that they will have to confine me within it and I must not do beyond it? So you must also consider this, even when you are doing your monitoring and controlling. The key tools: expert judgment, skillful people, skillful workers, analytical techniques. You need it when it comes to monitoring and control. These are not just fables. You have to be factual. You have to talk on facts. You have to talk based on analysis. When you are talking about you doing your what, we are talking about cost forecast. Cost forecast is not just you sitting down and saying that, oh, it's going to cost me 11 million naira. You have to sit down and break everything down to ensure that what you are quite on point with all your forecasts and analysis. Project management information system is part of the things that you will use. And also meetings, a lot of meetings. When you are talking about monitoring and controlling, there will be a lot of meetings. The key output, the change request to be done, work performance reports will be done, project management plan updates, project documents, updates, and so on. Okay, these are the output that you will have under that process. The sixth one, I think I'm actually meeting up with my target right now. Perform integrated change control process. Now you have to actually think also, how will I perform every change request that they make? When we are talking about integrated, when you are dealing with various changes, okay, you have to think about how you will review all the change requests. I told us yesterday that the change request can be made either by the stakeholders, or the change request can be made either by the project sponsor, or the change request can be made either by the project customers. Who are the stakeholders? These are people that positively or negatively the project output will affect them. Who is the project sponsor? This is the Mr. Rich that put the money down, or the man that owned the project. Who is the project customer? Project customer are the people that will make use of the project that you're actually doing. I go over that again. A project customer is the person that will interact with the product, that will make use of the product. A project sponsor is the person that owns the project. And the project stakeholder is people that either negatively or positively that project being done will affect them. Okay? So either of these change requests might actually come from them. When you sample the market, I made mention of people that normally, if they want to release a particular product, they will first sample people's opinion. They will tell you if it's a drink, they will tell you to taste it. They will give you a paper to write. What are you doing? You are a customer. You are the project customer. You are the one that will be buying that drink. What you are doing at that time is that you are telling them the changes they should go and make. If you say the sugar is too much, this is too much, I think I'm having the taste of ginger there, that's not good. Oh, it tastes like Coca-Cola. You are telling them that it tastes like already existing products. That means that they are just falsifying it. So it means that you are making change requests. So a project customer can make a change request. The owner of that drink, the company owner itself, can also make a change request. And also the stakeholders, people that it will affect indirectly, they can actually make a change request, especially if you have people that are board of trustees, the senior management and the likes in the organization where you are carrying or the organization that you are managing the project for. They can make that request. But in PMI, we strictly say project sponsor make, you know, the request. But I'm just bringing all that for you to have what the practical view of it. So in the integrated integrated change control process, what we do is that we monitor or review all the change requests and how we are going to manage them effectively from all the working departments. So a project manager also put that in check. Now, lastly, the last but not the least process in project integration management is close project or phase process. How do I close my projects? I mentioned this. I said it that yes, it's good to give kudos to the person that cook in the kitchen, but the way the person tidy up the kitchen after cooking is worthy of praise. If your kitchen is not tidy up, it won't speak good of you. It's good to work in the workshop as an engineer, but your housekeeping after the job is done is what will show us, you know, the kind of engineer you are. So as a project manager, it is good for you to execute a very wonderful project. But what will show us if you are a good project manager is how you close your project. Closing your project, you need inputs like project management plan. You have to go back to your plan. Did you go through the plan? Did you follow the plan? Did you do it according to the plan? You are going to see some question like this here tonight that I'm going to treat. Did I go through the plan? Accepted deliverable. Have they accepted my deliverable? You don't assume. When you are done with a deliverable, you need to actually update the stakeholder and also update the project sponsor. Ensure that he legally and formally sign it off. Meaning that I am satisfied with this phase of this project you have completed. He needs to sign. That is you closing. Okay, these are the inputs. And then accepted deliverable and the organizational process assets. You have to check this particular project you have carried out, you have done. Okay, have you followed the policy of the company? This is what I mentioned yesterday. You can do a very beautiful project and you have violated the brand of a particular company. If the company is actually well organized and their OPA is strong, they will never accept it. I made mention of an example of somebody designing a very beautiful design, a very beautiful artwork in the name of Nigeria. And the person used yellow, using red color, using blue color. No matter how beautiful it is, that will not be accepted by the leadership or the political arena of Nigeria. Because anything you want to design for Nigeria must actually be of the color green or white. Because that is the only two color that we recognize. There is a project I'm working on with someone, and it's going to be like a project for Lagos. So I was invited on the project. So he sent me the branding, the branded design that they did for that particular project. When he sent me, now they are actually attaching it to Lagos. You know, the first thing I check was for me to go and look for. In fact, I've never had a course to really know what is the official color of Lagos State. But that's what made me to go and do that research. So he was telling me that, is this okay, that I should just air my view on the brand work that the designer did. I had to go and check Lagos State color, and I did my judgment according to to Lagos State color. No matter how beautiful it looks, if it's not reading Lagos State color, definitely you cannot attach that kind of project with the name Lagos. So it is very important that you follow the OPA. There are some companies that when you are designing for them, they have their own font size, they have their own font style. So you can't bring a font style of lettering that you say is beautiful and you want to use it for them. They will tell you that that is not our font style. I've worked with branding and issue with branding a lot. When you see Dangote logo, you know that this is Dangote logo. Nothing concerns you whether it is beautiful or not. That is how you know Dangote. There are many companies that for you to know their original product, it is you knowing their brand. When you know their brand and you check the product, you will know that, oh, this is not from them. It is actually being worked out, or it is an inferior product. So OPA is very important. Okay, these are the things that will guide if you are closing your project well. Have you followed their policy in you carrying out the project? It might be beautiful, but trust me, if you erect a very good building for the Lagos State house, you know, and it's not actually being branded with what Lagos State itself, then you know that you have failed, even though the building is actually beautiful. So the key tools here is that what your expert judgment is there, your analytical skills is there, and you're going to what engage in many meetings. Key outputs, final product will be produced, or final service will be produced, or final result will be what we go into transition, and then you will also have what the organizational what process assets will also will be what updated, which means that what they now have what an update to what they have done. Let me give you an instance. If you check Coca-Cola as a company, I don't know, I can't count, but I know that they have changed their bottle, you know, more than 2 or 3 times. Is there anybody that can attest to that? I think I'm correct. Am I correct? Because I don't know where my recording would actually reach. Coca-Cola as a company, is there anybody that is correct on that? They have changed their bottle for like, for like more than 3 times. Now, do you think that if you go on internet now, you will not still see what Coca-Cola looks like maybe like 15 years ago or 20 years ago? You will see it. It's just like their archive. That is their OPA. That is their is like an asset to them. So anything that they do now, they will just update their assets. That's what we call organizational process asset updates. It is in record that in 19 so this is the kind of container that we are using. When we get to 1985, we improve it to this. It shows that your company is actually maintaining a steady growth. You can't say these policies that you are using in 1960, now that we are actually what in a world of technology, it's still the same thing that you are using. It can't be. But that doesn't mean that if we go to your archive, we will not see your OPA. That what, oh, in 1960, this is what you actually use, but now you have updated it. This is now you are using. So you see this like the same way you see websites being updated. Jumia today is never like the way it used to be. There must be an improvement. Many companies, the way they were in 2019 is never the way they are now, because in 2019 / 2020 they face what we call, you know, pandemic. And pandemic taught them a lot of lessons that many of them that are not online, now they are online. What have they done? They have added to their what? Organizational process assets. That this is now the way they actually what? Do things. So if they don't have website before, they now have an asset as a web. They now have a website as an asset. They probably have an app as an asset. So all these things are assets. So you just update it that what you have more assets. Okay. If your company, you know, builds you know, you have a new office, is an asset. You have a new outlet, is an asset. Before, you don't normally have customer care unit, no unit to call, but now you have a unit that people can call and complain. Is an asset. Okay. So these are very, very important. So I've discussed all the processes. Now let's now get to the one that will expose us more. Let us look at the emerging practices. There are some emerging practices in project integration management. Please, if you are with me, let me see you raining me with thumbs up. Give me thumbs up. Let them just flow. Let the thumbs up just come up like that. All right. Thank you so much. I have a lot of people alive with me on training, and I'm alive with you too. So let's look at, you know, what are the emerging. I want you to look at my screen. This is what I'm discussing now. What are the emerging practices in project integration management today? When we say emerging, like they are actually coming out. They are the one in vogue. Okay, that if you are a project manager today, I expect you to actually what? Implement all this. And that's part of the questions that people actually, this is where I take care of the questions, that some people actually asked yesterday. Even though I've answered part of them, that, but let's touch them now. Now, there is what we call project management information system. Okay, so as a project manager, okay, you actually want to think about how you can, integrate everything that has to do with your project information. How do you integrate it? How do you collect all the data? How will you be able to analyze all the data that you have? And how will you be able to actually use them in order to meet the project objectives? Now, this is what PMIS actually do for you. So PMIS is actually a software application that you use to collect all your information. Okay, but I must mention that PMIS started as just a paper, like a document work. Okay, it used to be like a paperwork, but now it is actually something that technology has made it to be digitalized. So you want to have all your data, you can just collate all your data, perhaps all your tasks or all the information that you have. You want to actually put them in a particular folder or in a particular document. So it's a software that reminds you this. Oh, if there's a particular risk on the project that you put there, so you can use it to manage, okay, all the project information. I've used this term a lot. I used it yesterday. I just left it. I know that I'm going to talk on it even in the subsequent hour of class, and that's what I'm doing today. Now, that shows that as a project manager, don't see yourself like a Superman. We still have some project manager who want to be archaic. They want to be archaic in the sense that they love their paper. They deal with paper. There are a lot of people today, that do more of paperwork than even using their phone or using their gadgets. So as a project manager, today's activities of project management, kind of advises you that, there are a lot of things you can control digitally without your paperwork. There are a lot of things you can do with your spreadsheets. There is like Monday.com. Monday.com is a spreadsheet, is a project management spreadsheet that you can do a whole lot if you are using it as a software. And it's a very simple software. In fact, it's something that I do recommend with people that are just starting, their career of project management. That if you need an app, or let me say a platform, a software that is very easy to interact with, and you don't need to actually have a deeper knowledge before you can use it, then you can use Monday.com as a spreadsheet, okay, that will aid you to actually have a PMIS where you can control a lot of informations or data, analyze them, even that you are using on your projects. The second one is using visual tools. Now, what do we mean by visual tools? Visual tools are very, very necessary. I will give you what I mean by visual tools. Okay. Visual tools aid understanding of projects. I made mention of Gantt chart the other time. Yes, that is a visual tool. That's an example of a visual tool. Gantt chart will allow you to see. You are not just writing. What we mean by visual tool is that as a project manager, instead of you just writing everything, okay, why don't you have something like this? Look at the way I put this skeleton, okay? Why don't you have something like this? You want to show people that, oh, we must finish this work. When we finish this work, it becomes the input into this. You are showing them this. It becomes an input into this. This explains better than you writing a page in words. The generation we have right now, they interact more with what they can see than what they can read. So in project management, again, if you don't want to give stress to your project team, you really want to carry them along. When you give them a visual, the look of what you guys are handling, it talks better than you actually writing. So that is what we mean by visual tools. So the visual tools are used to understand critical project elements rather than a written document. So you use visual tool, by making the project element visible. That will gives you a clear picture of the project status to all the team members. So what visual tools will do, like I've explained, okay, is that it will help everybody to see what we are doing. That is what Gantt charts, that is what Kanban board will do. Okay, I explained what a Kanban board looks like. It's just like a 3-column board. In fact, if you have entered, where they have done a stand-up meeting before or a progressive meeting, project meeting before, you will see what I'm talking about. They will be using sticking paper. Maybe you have seen what I'm talking about before. You will see sticking paper, okay, on the wall with some little things. We call it backlog. We call it backlog in project management. Backlog, okay. This is where we are logging in all the requests or all the tasks that we need to actually perform. So in the heading here, you will see task. So we use WBS for this task. We call it work breakdown structure. Work breakdown structure, that is under project scope management. But what we use work breakdown structure for is for us to actually look at a particular task, and then we break it into pieces in such a way that it's not going to look cumbersome. It's not going to look complex. You may think that going to market to do shopping is actually simple, but no. When you meet a good project manager, he's going to break it down for you in a way that you will not feel. Part of the things that we'll talk about is that for you to go to market, then you will need what? To decide, am I going to be needing cash, or I'm going to be using what? Card to make payments. So we'll break it down. Availability of your card or availability of cash. These are activities that include you just going to market. Means of transportation, we'll talk about that. Okay. We talk about which market do you want to go? How far is the market? Will you be going alone? How many hours will you use? Will you be needing refreshment before you come back home? In fact, all these things will be put into what place? That is what WBS will do. We break down a particular task into simple tasks. We now begin to assign, the monetary, implication, cost to each of them. We also assign schedule to each of them. How long will it take me to get the card? Or how long will it take me to go to ATM and withdraw money? How long will it take me with this means of transportation?
Hello,
and
presenter. Presenter, sorry, I can't see your screen. Can you share your screen?
Is there any other person that cannot see my screen?
Your screen.
Yes, I can see.
You said what? Sorry.
Your screen is visible here.
It's visible here. It's visible here.
Okay, my screen is visible. Please just check your gadget, please. I know I'm sharing.
Check your network. And please, if you have a complaint, just type it in the message so that we don't interrupt the flow of the class, please. Thank you very much. You can continue that.
So you will have to break down the task. Every task you want to do. So look at this like task 1, task 2, task 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now that is the task. Now, ongoing task. This is what Kanban board normally show. Ongoing task. If you have used Trello before to do projects, this is what we do on Trello. Trello helps us to actually do all these things. Okay, you can use Trello for this. You can use a lot of software. I'm going to be mentioning them, and I will give you guides on how you can actually go about it. Even though in our company we have separate training for softwares training. That's project management softwares. But I'm just helping with this for us to actually see that softwares will actually help you to manage your project. And trust me, unlike where you actually disturb yourself, most of these softwares are not even difficult to use. In fact, there are some of them that I may be helping you to send you maybe some link where they just give you a description of how to use it. Because many of them, they have a very standard UI UX, which shows that you will have a good user experience with them. So this place will be ongoing task. It is from here we can say we take task 1, maybe we take task 2. A task under the ongoing must not be more than 3, so that you not be having too much that you are doing at hand. Don't deceive yourself. So just carry like 2 years. So you will cancel this 2, you cancel this 1, because you have carried them from that task, waiting task. These are waiting tasks. You have carried them from waiting tasks. They are now on the ongoing. So you cancel them. So if it's a sticking paper that you are using, you will see them. They will remove those sticky paper. Automatically, this place will be what? Erased. You will not find them here again. So they are now under this place. So when any of the team member comes, they will see that task 1 and task 2 are ongoing. Or the only question they will be asking is that which of the team are working on this? Because maybe people to do task 3 and 4, they will need the output of task 1 and 2 before they can commence their work. So they will be following up to ensure that once those people are done, they will pick up their own job. It might be that people that are actually sending the people in charge of procurement, they don't want, there is no place to actually load the material. So they want to see if they have finished using the cement that they have provided, so that they can start loading another one. So they also have to be monitoring the process of the progress of the project. And then here is done, task done. So once this team now, they finish this task 1, they finish this task 2, they bring them to this task done, and then they clean up this. They come back here to the waiting task. They pick item 3 and 4. They become the ongoing now, and then they cancel them here. So this is what you can imagine. Look at this visual look. The visual look in this place, just merely looking at this. Maybe you are in the site, in the project site, and you see this. You can see that, oh, the waiting tasks are the task 5, task 6, task 7, task 8. Easily you will say that they have not done this task. Oh, it's like they have complete task 1, task 2. And then if there's anybody around that needs the output of those tasks 1, task 2, we know that very soon is going to get engaged. Their team will actually begin very soon. So they know that they are working on 3 and 4. Once the 3 and 4 are also completed, you bring them here that they are done, and then you also cancel them here. Then you come here, you delete another 2, that's 5 and 6, and then you delete them off here to show that you have. And this is how you go on and on with Kanban board. Look at this visual look. That's so beautiful. It helps you as a project manager than for you to be writing. So we are working on so we'll be working on this when we are done. When we are done this, we'll be doing it. That is not necessary with you having if you can actually engage yourself in the visual look. So that's very, very important. So project knowledge management is also very important. How do we manage the lesson learned on these projects? Okay, how do we actually transfer all this knowledge that we have actually learned on this project? How do we make them to become assets? Okay, that's what we are talking about. So it enables continuous learning and knowledge transfer by bringing together the stakeholders, procedures, tools, and knowledge required during the project life cycle, so that you can optimize the knowledge gained by all your team members. Like I explained the other one, there must always be a room for improvement. That is what so as a project manager, what is in vogue today is that people expect you to do what you have done better. Next time we are going to have a training of project management. Yes, you can say, oh, project integration management is beautiful. The next training must be like you have not seen anything. If you are saying that we are doing project cost management must be done in such a way that you would look at the project integration management you have gone through like, oh, I was even thinking that was their best. So really, they even have something much more fantastic than this. That is how people see you, even as a company. They want you to do what you are doing better every day. So as a project manager also, there must always be an improvement on your knowledge. There must be something that you are doing better, that you are improving on in everything that has to do with your project. So it's very important. Another thing that you must learn as a project manager is that you must know that today's world is making the responsibility today's world is expanding your responsibility as a project manager. There are so many things that in those days you may not be expected to do, but trust me, now you must actually be on ground for you to actually do them perfectly. Take, for instance, we are talking about what? Identification and engagement of your stakeholders. This load is on you as a project manager. It is not a job that you are going to delegate to one of your project team. These are jobs that you must actually, in fact, I learned this a lot and in a very hard way when I was working in telecommunication industry. You see, the problem with that field, I don't know if it was the company, but I know definitely it's not with the work, because I have an uncle who also worked in a telecommunication industry and had the same experience. In fact, his own was much more horrible than my own. Now, what is the problem? When I went for the interview, one of the questions they asked me is that, can you work in the night? I never knew what they mean, because that was my first experience in telecommunication. I've always been in manufacturing. I told them, yes, I can work in the night. They said, if we call you in the night, you will go out and work. I said, yes, I can do it. And I found myself in Kano. The problem is that even when you are sleeping, the report of the site that went down during the day, you have given it to your support engineer. I was the senior field engineer. I've given the report. He knew everything that went wrong. So when an official call comes in and he answered the call, and they told him, oh, what happened in the so. In fact, sometimes they will not even ask him. They will say, we want to know what happened to so site during the day. By the time he wanted to attempt giving them report, they will say, we don't want to hear you. Go and give it to your engineer, your senior engineer. He's the one that should talk. Do you know why? Because whatever they hear from you, they believe is more authentic than your support engineer. That is what happened to your stakeholders. When you're dealing with your stakeholders as a project manager and you are sending a member of your team, they will not take you serious, because they want to actually hear from the project manager himself, because they believe that they can quote you, okay, that this is what you said yesterday, and you won't be able to actually come out of that web. But if it's your support or member of your team, you can easily say that I didn't send him. He was actually saying that on his own. This is what happened, and then you change the topic. So in project management, you deal with your stakeholders directly with yourself. Frequent meetings are on your head. You must be having a frequent meeting with all the stakeholders, okay, because of your responsibility. And anybody that has not managed projects or large projects in such a way like that may not actually really, practically relate to what I'm talking about. But with most of our the PMI certified that are among us, or people that have been practicing in the field of project, you will understand what I'm talking about. That there will be meetings upon meetings. There are meetings to settle conflicts. There are meetings for you to actually manage too much of change requests that are coming. In fact, some change requests from some stakeholders are actually they will be antagonizing each other. One is telling you to add this button to the website that you are building. Another one is saying that no, we need it in this other place. And then you will not be looking at how do you manage this. Okay. Another thing you must know as the project manager is that hybrid methodologies will help you. It is not all projects that you say, oh, strictly I want to use iterative because they told you that iterative method is very good. There are some part of your task that you just do stretch forward like that. You don't need to actually wait. You will do the initiating, you will do the plan, you will execute, you will monitor, you will close it. Because you know that I explained this in the first day. I said any project that is very short term, you can use your waterfall method to do it, which we call predictive life cycle. You can use predictive life cycle. But the iterative, if you are handling a project like website, you better use your iterative method, so that you'll be doing it in bits. If you are dealing with building an estate, or you are erecting a building that will have different rooms, different days, there will be swimming pool and everything. As you complete the aspect of swimming pool, let the sponsor, project owner know, oh, look at it. Do you like the swimming pool? Do you like the location? Do you like how steep it is? We made it 2 feet, 4 feet, 6 feet. Is that okay by you? Oh, look at the way we saw it. Say it's fine. He signed that one. You know that anything about swimming pool is already done. You move to another thing. But not that you will finish everything. If you say you want to use predictive, you may enter into trouble. You finish everything. You now cover his eyes. Say, come and see surprise. He started complaining about swimming pool. He started complaining about toilets. He started complaining about this room. complaining about that. He said he doesn't like the flower, he doesn't like the color. You will have a big problem. So when a project is complex, you use bit of iterative, you use bit of predictive. That's what we are talking about. Okay. So this is what we have in project integration. Now, tonight's training will not really, be complete without us doing what we call, PMI practice question. Let us see some of the PMI questions and see what we have learned in project integration management. Let us see, some PMI questions and sample it. Okay. So I want to test. So this is, just consider this as, your huge assessment. But before I go on that, so you can actually list some of these softwares down. I may still, share with you some of the link that can just give you a little explanation about some of those softwares. But let me just give you some of those softwares that you can use, especially for your project integration management. Don't forget, project integration management controls every other knowledge area that we have in project management. So you can actually use some of those some of those tools. You can use them to actually navigate through your world of project management and make work easier for yourself. Okay. So if we are there, you can use a software that we call monday.com. I think I mentioned monday.com. Are we there? If you are there, please give me thumbs up. I'm actually trying to give us some yes. Okay, thank you very much. So you can use an app that we call monday.com. Okay. Now, the issue that you can have with some of those software is that some of them will only allow you free version for maybe like 30 days. They just want you to actually see how it actually, because many of us like free. If you really want to be a good project manager, you will know that you have to pay for some of these softwares. But you can test out their free version maybe for 30 days. It will help you to actually play. Now, there are some of them that have a free version, but they will limit the number of your project team. You may not be able to add more than 2 project team, and you will use it for a year, like Trello. Okay, Trello also has a free version that you can use. In fact, Trello can allow you to add under their free version. You can add up to even 10, team members. You can create different projects under Trello. Okay, if you check now, okay, just type on your Google Trello, you will see how you will sign up. It's actually free for you to sign up, and then Trello works like your Kanban board that I mentioned. So in Trello, what you will be seeing is that you can give different tasks to different team. You give different tasks. So when you come there, it's just like the example that I gave. So you will see when they are done with a particular task, they move it down. So when you open it as a project manager, what you will see, the list of the tasks that they have completed, what they have not done, what they will do next, and all that. So it works like Kanban. In fact, a lot of people that are into programming projects, like web designing project, they use Trello a lot. If you are doing anything digital projects, you can use Trello. Okay, it makes people to collaborate on even building a website. Okay, for projects like that. So if somebody is actually doing front end, somebody is doing back end, there's somebody that is doing UI UX, you share them into team, and you'll be seeing what they're actually doing. Okay, so you can use Trello. You can use ClickUp. Okay, ClickUp also is another thing. ClickUp, like you spell click, and then you spell up with it. So that's also help. Okay, there are so many ones that are coming up now. We have Asana. Asana is also a very good one. In fact, there's a lot of course, I have not really, there are some of them that I don't like their interface or that I don't really use, but when you check some of their review, you will see that they have a good review, and one thing is that the good ones will always allow you to have a free use of it, at least for like 30 days. When you see any of the PMP software that require you to pay from the first day before you use it, I advise you not to even try it. But when you see the good ones that are very, very good, those are the ones that will give you like a free use maybe for 30 days, or they will even give you part of their features. They will just limit you. They will just give some of their features that you can use, so that because they are very confident that they are loaded, there are a lot of features that when you pay, when you go on premium, that you can actually use. So don't worry, I will try to see if I can send us some of those link to some of those softwares so that you can practice with them. But watch out, I know that the company will still actually bring up a training where I don't know if I'm going to be the one on the board to actually do that, but there are some of these softwares I can just actually train us on. So we just look at it. It will be a practical class where you from you signing up, from you creating your own project, from you creating your own task, from you managing it. So we'll just demonstrate that. So let's look at, I think I have some PMI questions I prepared. I just have them roughly prepared. Okay. So let me see if I can bring up some of them. I just have some of them roughly prepared for us. Let me see. Okay. Please, can you see my screen? Can anyone see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yes,
Yes,
I
we can
Yes,
see the screen.
yes.
I can
So
see
I
the
can
screen.
see it.
let somebody volunteer, somebody to read the question. So when you see
can now.
PMI question, let me give you the concept of you answering PMI question. PMI question, in fact, when you are writing the exam, you have about 200 questions, and the weight of all the questions are not the same. When I say the weight, I mean the marks of all the questions are not the same. Okay. Now, one of the things that you have as a that normally affect people that sit for PMI exam is that the questions are always analytical. That is, you have a lot of analysis even before you read the question. Now, those analyses are intentional. They are intentional in the sense that many people will get tired before they even read the entire question, and they will lose, the concept of what the question is actually trying to pinch for them. So the analysis will be so much that you will be so tired of the analysis, and then they will just rush to the options. That's number one. Number two, have it at the back of your mind that PMI questions, there is no wrong answer. There is just the best answer. That is why in PMI you don't have something like it's either you pass or fail. Let me use that word. Okay, it's either you really pass or fail. They don't really make you to see your percentage performance, or maybe you have yes, you can actually have an idea that you have a high performance, but nothing like you have a 196 over 200. That's not how you have the results. Okay, so it's like either you have a high performance or you underperform. Okay, let me use that word. Okay, I can actually include that to show you how you can register. Our company guide people to register, and then for you to write your exam and everything, if you have your PDUs and all that. But I want you to actually focus on it, that there are no wrong answer. There's only best answer that you have there. In most cases, except they ask you that so about this is a false. That is when you can have a wrong answer. When they say all these are correct except that is a wrong answer. But in most analysis that has to do with scenario, okay, you can only picture the best way to solve that problem. It may not be necessarily be that the rest of the options are totally wrong. So somebody, Mr. Moderator, over to you, sir. Let somebody volunteer to read this question for us. I need a female, please.
Okay. Okay.
Switching
Grace
female,
Olusoga. Grace Olusoga, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
So read the
Yeah,
question.
you can.
Okay. You recently took a project in the middle of executing from another project manager who left the organization. You became extremely worried to find out that a substantial amount of new change requests are coming from your key stakeholders, customers, and even from your manager. You are anxious that the changes will drastically increase the cost and time of the project, and you are not sure about how to process these incoming change requests. What should you refer to for any kind of help in this situation? So we have options.
Okay, read the options, please.
Option A, the previous project manager who can provide guidance and relevant information. The B, the project charter to find out the key success criteria from the stakeholders. C, the project requirements document to know more about the project requirements. And D, the project manager plan.
So who want to attempt that question? So you understand this question. What's the analysis? You took over from a project manager. You know, the person just left the organization. So in the middle of executing the project, he just left, and then you took over. So now you are now worried to actually find out, you know, that people are just, you know, stakeholders are just bringing out new change requests. Oh, you have to make changes to this, make changes to that. So you are confused on where to start from. Okay. So that the cost will not be affected, the time of the project will not be. I explained all those ones. The baseline will not be affected. So what do you do? Which one is the correct option? Who want to try? Mr. Moderator, look out for somebody raising hand.
Sunday eBay, are you there? Sunday eBay. Sunday eBay, are you there? Okay, if Sunday is not there, Shitu Kamarudin. Shitu Kamarudin.
The option of consulting the project charter, sir. The option of consulting the project charter.
Okay.
That's option one, A, B, or C.
Option B, is that what you are saying?
Yes, project charter, sir. Project charter, yes.
Okay then.
Well, I would have asked you, is there anybody that have a different answer?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Moderator, please call that person.
Okay, I think that's Dominic, right?
Yes, option C. The project requirement plan document.
Option what is that?
Project requirement C.
Okay then.
Okay, now let me be knocking it out one by one. Let's look at A. Now we say that what should you refer to? Look at the question. What should you refer to for any kind of help in this situation?
Yes.
The previous project manager who can, so that is not negotiable. He has left. You can't refer to him. He's no more working with the organization. You don't even want to start. You don't know the problem that made him to leave. B, the project charter to find out the key success criteria from the stakeholders. No, that is not what your project charter actually does.
Hello, sir.
Your project charter only
Hello,
what? Yes. Are you with me?
I am raising up my hand.
Okay, you want to try? Okay. Please go ahead if the moderator is giving you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please talk. Please.
Okay.
All
right, my name is Engineer David Chibo.
Okay.
I'm also a project personnel. Right.
Okay.
So in this situation, what you do is to look at the project requirement document to know more about the project. You don't need to consult the former project manager. The project charter there talks about the roadmap, you know, what the communication plan of the project, not really detail of what the requirements of the client is. So you look at the C, which is the project requirement document, to know more about the project. You know more what it entails in the project. So with that, you need to solve that problem. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much.
This is David Chibo. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So you don't actually consult your charter. You don't consult the person who has left. Now you are left with two options. Now, like I explained, Engineer Shitu has done well to actually give us an insight into project requirements. That is, what are the requirements? What are the things that they want us to actually improve on this project? But notice that the question that you have here, irrespective of the requirements, this new person that has come in, this question already shows us that he knew about the previous requirements. Because what this question is tackling him is that there are change requests. Look at underline, change requests. How does he know that there are change requests? He knows that there are change requests because these things are not in the official requirements that we have before on the project. The official requirement of the project is already on ground. So how does this new project manager know that? Like I said, the option that Engineer Shitu chose is not wrong. That is a very correct answer. We are just looking at which one to trade in this particular case. Which one do we trade? It shows that he already have he knows what the requirements are. That's why he could pinpoint that these are change requests. These are differences they want to make to this project. Then is he accommodated in the plan? Don't forget, I made mention of the project management plan. That in the project management plan, there must be a room for you to design how will you take care of change requests. The plan of the project must actually include how you will handle the change requests when they come. That will be, instead of him to go and meet, the best option would have been for him to go and meet the former project manager. But because that person in this question, he has resigned, then the plan that he has made when he was actually making the plan for the project, this is how I'm going to handle change request, will be of great, help to this new project manager. No wrong answer, but the best of the best here will be for us to go for option D. Option C is also correct. So you see the trading that we are talking about. Let's look at the second question. I will read so that because of time. John, the project manager, is in the process of develop project charter to develop a document to formally authorize a project or a phase and identify the business objectives and needs, current understanding of the stakeholders' expectations, and the new product, service, or result that is intended, to satisfy. Which one of the following is not an input to this developed project charter? Now, the only question they're asking is that which one of these you don't need? You don't need it to prepare your project charter. I think I explained this a lot yesterday. Which one of these you don't need to present to prepare your project charter? Anybody? They said project benefit management plan, business case, agreement, project management plan. Very simple question. Which one of these is not an input to project charter?
Deji Phillips, I can see your hands. You can unmute yourself.
Good evening. I'll go with agreement.
Okay. That's option C, right?
Yes, option C, agreement.
Were you in yesterday's training?
Yes, I was.
Okay, let's quickly take that. Agreement must be in your project charter. It's part of the constituent of your project charter. Your project charter must consist of the agreement between the project sponsor and the project manager. So you need agreement to actually prepare project charter. Okay, do we get that?
Yes, thank you.
You need business case. You need business case to prepare your project charter. You need your project benefit management. That is, I explained that will this be beneficial to the company? Will it be of values to the company? But look at it now. The second process is project management plan. Is that not so that I mentioned yesterday? It is your project charter that will be an input to that D, not that D an input to what? Project charter. You need project charter to prepare D, and not that you need D to prepare project charter. So the only one that doesn't have to be an input to you preparing project charter is your D. You don't need it to prepare. You can't do plan. There's nothing like planning when you are doing project charter. You just want to do an agreement and authorize documents. It is after project charter, you now go ahead with what? Project management plan. So D is not to be there. Okay, so that's very, very so let me see if I have my number 3. I think I just put it roughly. Okay, no problem. In no order. Let's look at number 4. Okay, let's just look at number 4. Which one of the following statements is not true about the project management plan? I love this kind of question. Which one of these is not true about the project management plan? I just wish all of us are actually looking at this. A, it is a single approved. Is not true. Be looking at it's not true. It means that 4 of them will be true. 1 is not true. Put it at the back of your mind what you are looking for. It is a single approved document that defines how the project is executed, monitored and controlled and closed. B, it is developed through a series of integrated processes. C, it is progressively elaborated by updates and controlled and approved. Okay, let me be asking us. It is a single approved document that defines how the project is executed, monitored and controlled. That is true. We know that it is your project management plan, okay, that will help you, give you the plan for you to actually do that. So everybody knows that that is actually correct.
It's true. Yes, correct.
B, it is developed through a series of integrated process. Yes, project integration.
Yes, that's correct.
That's correct. C, it is progressively elaborated by updates and controlled and approved through the perform integrated change control process. That's also correct. A lot of changes may be coming in. Okay.
Correct.
You have that's correct. So we have knocked them out now. D must be incorrect. Let's read it. It provides project inputs, tools and techniques, and output to be used on the project for the purpose of managing the product of the project. That is fantastically wrong. It is not the one that gives us project inputs. Okay, so we have several inputs that even project management, preparing a project plan is only an input to the next process. Not that it is the automatic input for every other processes. So it does not give us the techniques. I explained that the techniques is of the project manager. The tools, your softwares are part of your tools. It is not your plan that actually give you all that. Okay, so D is the one that remains incorrect, that we can knock out. Even when you look at it, it may be making little sense, but I just told you that it is not an outrightly wrong question. It is just that one will actually be there that you can see that, oh no, this one is out of it. Let's read this one also. Which one of the following statements is false about project management information, PMIS? I think I explained that a little bit tonight. So let's look at which one is false. I love all this kind of question. It can be electronic or manual. I think I explained that, right? Is that correct? Yes, it's correct. Right?
Yes, it's correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
It is an automated system that can serve as a repository for information and a tool to assist with communication and with tracking documents and delivery. I explained that when you know the raw data, correct. Yes, that's correct. It consists of the data sources and the tools and techniques used to gather, integrate, analyze, and disseminate the results of the combined output of the project management processes. That's also correct. It shows you, the every data, every information that has to do with you executing or producing that particular product. But let's look at D. It defines how the project is executed, monitored, and controlled. It is not the one that defines it.
False.
That's false. That's false. God bless you. That's false. Thank you so much. That's false. God bless you. So we have, questions like that. I think I have about 10 of them. Let me see if we can still take one more. Let's look at this number 10. Okay. You just received I love this question. You just received a change request from the customer, which will require an additional $2,000 and will also delay the project by 2 weeks. The customer mentioned that they were okay with the delay and were willing to pay for the extra amount. Remember, I told you about baseline. So this customer now, they are the one actually making request. Okay, so they want to change. The scope, and it will cost them additional $2,000. and they are okay with it. You even told them that, oh, there will be additional 2 weeks, so they said they are okay with it. So the customer mentioned that they were okay with the delay and were willing to pay for the extra amount, as the new change will drastically improve their business automation. As per your organizational policy, you are supposed, look at this question, as per your organizational policy, that is OPA, I mentioned that, you are supposed to get the project office approval for any change. That is the policy of this company, that you have to go back to the project office to get approval for any change that will extend the project duration by more than a week. What should you do in this situation? I want somebody to answer the question. What should you do? Who can try it?
Ime Ete Edem. Sorry, hope I pronounced your name correctly. I can see your hands actually. Okay, if it's not there, Ekwe Young. Ekwe Young, are you there?
Ekwe Young is my name. I think the answer is D. Advise the customer to take the change request to the project office.
Okay, let me ask you, on this question that you read, who is supposed to inform? Just look at the last part of the question. The answer is always there. Who is supposed to inform the PMO if the extension will be more than 1 week? That's correct. That's fantastic.
Okay. Thank you.
So you can see, you are not Ekpeyon, you are not wrong, but just what I'm just showing you, that pay attention to what they are saying. They have even given you the answer. They said you are supposed. Yes, you are supposed to inform the PMO. So what will you do? Just go ahead and do the right thing. Since you have taken the project management training, that don't violate the OPA of any company, operational policy of any company. Don't violate it. Go ahead, go and inform them. Hey, discuss the change with the project office. Okay, and that's as simple as that. Let's have this as the last question because of the time. Okay, while overseeing the implementation of a new computer infrastructure at the local hospital, you notice that a substantial amount of change requests have originated from one single key stakeholder. The stakeholder is also insisting that all of his requests should be implemented as soon as possible. What would be your best course of action? You can try. Listen to this one. You are overseeing a project, okay? And you now see that a lot of change requests have come in from one single stakeholder. There is a single stakeholder that is giving you issue. He's the one rushing you. He's just telling you change this, change that, change this, change that. So the stakeholder is also multi. Why did you go for C?
Because once you have the meeting with the stakeholder to review these changes, and the cost of these changes is determined, definitely the stakeholder should be able to interface with every other stakeholder, because he's not just the only person there. My humble opinion.
In fact, you are very correct. But another thing that you should add is that when sometimes people make requests for changes that they don't understand. Why you need to situate a meeting with him is that you want to know why he's making those requests, and perhaps you may even end up educating him, because there are some project owners, they don't even understand what they are requesting for. They don't know what is in book. They will say, do this for me. You don't just go ahead and do it, because people will later ask, who is this carpenter that built this rubbish for you? They will say it's you. You will never say that it's the one that asked for it. So you need to sit your clients down sometimes. You educate them. You said, that thing you are requesting for is this and that. When you see that it might become problem in the future, make him to sign it, and it will show that you have advised him. But you need to call the stakeholder. Thank you so much for that beautiful answer. So guys, on that note, I hand it over to Mr. Moderator. Sorry, I took it up to